Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff is the latest high seed to fall at a topsy-turvy Wimbledon. Wimbledon, England, as high seed after high seed tumbled in Wimbledon's first round Tuesday. Players searched for a unifying answer. Could the unseasonably warm weather have something to do with the carnage? Possibly. Some cited the lack of a good night's sleep in the houses they rent during the tournament. Like most English homes, they don't have air conditioning. What readers are saying. The comments reflect disappointment in Coco Gauff's performance at Wimbledon, with critiques on her forehand grip, second serve, and overall preparedness. Some suggest she should have participated in warm-up tournaments, while others note the challenging clay-to-grass transition. Show more. This summary is AI-generated. AI can make mistake. That certainly rings at least partly true for the biggest upset of the day. Number 2 seed Coco Gauff followed up her French Open title of 3 weeks ago by falling to world number 42 Diana Yastremska 7-6, 7-3, 6-1 in just 1 hour 18 minutes. It was the first time in Gauff's past 8 Grand Slam appearances in which the 21-year-old did not make at least a fourth round. Wimbledon, London. The sky over center court was unusually gray, casting a soft, somber light on the hallowed grass that has witnessed both triumphs and heartbreaks for nearly a century. As the crowd filed out, murmurs of disbelief and hushed reflections followed them like shadows. Coco Gauff, once hailed as the new queen-in-waiting of tennis, had fallen, yet again, at a Grand Slam, this time in a tournament where destiny once seemed to whisper her name. The 2025 Wimbledon Championships had already been a narrative of surprises, but Gauff's early exit added a dramatic twist to what was becoming a Shakespearean script of upsets, underdogs, and unraveling certainties. A seed among the weeds. Coming into the tournament, Gauff was not just another hopeful. She was the number 2 seed, a reigning U.S. Open champion, and arguably one of the most electric presences in the sport. Her power, her poise, her defiance of tennis orthodoxy. It all made her a fan favorite and a nightmare for opponents. The grass had always seemed like a perfect match for her athleticism and fearless shot-making. And yet, Wimbledon, with its manicured lawns and deep traditions, has a way of humbling even the most gifted. Her third-round opponent, a relatively unheralded Czech lefty with nerves of steel and a forehand like a scalpel, played the match of her life. But even in the brilliance of that underdog story, the lingering question remained. How did Coco Gauff, the player with momentum, media attention, and a growing arsenal of experience, fall so early? Was it pressure? Was it the weight of expectation? Or was it simply the mystery of grass, the most unpredictable surface in tennis? The curse of the crown? Tennis has never been short of prodigies, but the game is rarely kind to them in the long term. For every Serena Williams, there are dozens of players who rose too fast and stumbled before finding stability. Gauff's career, though stellar by any measure, has always carried the heavy crown of what's next. Ever since her explosive debut at Wimbledon in 2019, when she stunned Venus Williams as a 15-year-old wildcard, the world has looked at her not just as a player, but as a symbol of youth, of change, of a new generation that wouldn't wait its turn. But symbols carry burdens. They don't get to lose without scrutiny. They don't get to evolve without judgment. The grass's silent rebellion. Unlike the hard courts where power and rhythm rule, or the clay courts where strategy and patience pay off, grass courts are moody and mystical. The ball skids. The bounces are uneven. Matches can swing on a blade of grass, literally. For Gauff, whose game thrives on tempo and aggression, the grass can be both friend and foe. Her serve, though mighty, seemed to lack its usual venom. Her ground strokes, normally so authoritative, looked rushed and hesitant under pressure. The match didn't slip from her hands. It unraveled slowly, like a thread pulled from a carefully stitched tapestry. Her opponent, in contrast, played like someone with nothing to lose. The crowd, always fond of an upset when it doesn't involve a hometown favorite, gradually shifted its energy. And when the final point was struck, a stunned silence settled in. It wasn't just that Coco Gauff had lost. It was the feeling that something larger had been interrupted. A narrative, a prophecy, a rise. Beyond the baseline. Sports often reflect more than skill. They mirror our hopes, our ideals, our human flaws. Coco Gauff has become more than a tennis player. She's a voice for change, an advocate for justice, a symbol of empowerment. With every match, she carries not just her own expectations, but those of a generation that sees in her a version of what is possible. But possibility is not destiny, and Wimbledon is not a canvas that paints itself neatly. Gauff's loss isn't a failure. It's a reminder that even the best need space to stumble, that even prodigies must pay their dues to grass, the great equalizer. That being a champion isn't always about lifting trophies. It's also about weathering storms. The next chapter awaits. In the post-match press conference, Gauff sat with composed grace, answering questions with candor. "It wasn't my day," she said. "Credit to my opponent. She played fearless tennis. I'll learn. I always do." And she will. At just 21, Gauff has already built a career that players twice her age would envy. But more importantly, she carries something rarer than titles: resilience. She knows how to lose. And in knowing how to lose, she's learning how to truly win. Tennis, especially at Wimbledon, is not a straight path. It is a maze of pressure, grass stains, and moments that define careers not by perfection, but by persistence. Coco Gauff may have fallen, but she is far from finished. And somewhere, perhaps at the US Open or at another center court a year from now, the story will continue, not as a sequel, but as a reawakening. Epilogue, the year of the unpredictable. As Gauff joins a growing list of high seeds to exit Wimbledon in early rounds, one thing becomes clear. 2025 is the year of the underdog, the unexpected, the unwritten script. And perhaps that's the beauty of this sport, because in a world of algorithms, stats, and predictions, tennis on grass still holds the power to surprise, to remind us that greatness isn't always linear, and that sometimes the most unforgettable stories begin with a fall.